Yeah, you rightly mentioned all the points because I was about to ask you that when you started, so that also you have covered now. So it's really nice to hear about the Turtle Star management, the Turtle Star philosophy, what you've spoken right now. See, the very beautiful part and the very nicely what you said is that all your partners are having 30 years of experience, right? So I think it's difficult to get all such partners with a great experience. So I think that will really help in terms of all the cycles all the three partners have seen. So I think 30 years is a quite good experience in the equity markets, and this is really nice to hear because normally it's difficult to get such kind of experience in the markets. So once again, thanks for your introduction for Turtle Star, PMS, and you rightly said that you are keeping your PMS in the low profile and you have not done the tie with the bank brokers. I know that it was very difficult to get to know about the Turtle Star. So finally now I am getting into it and I am understanding your PMS very well. So now the next part, what I would like to understand is your investment philosophy in terms of Turtle Star when you buy stock picking, when you do for your clients. What is your investments philosophy, process, thesis, your decision making, your entry and your exit? We have already spoken all these points, but still in a shorter note, if you can explain, it will help us to understand.
Yeah, Rishi, so yeah, the investment process and investment thesis, as you also stated that we have exhaustively covered it in the earlier episodes as well, where each of these points were captured. But to just, share on with what we had spoken earlier as well, that we try to look at companies which come in the B2C category. So that is business with customers. So companies which are essentially focused or directly in connect with the customers are the ones where we are very much focused upon. The other segments is B2B and the third segment is B2G. So our categorization is essentially with B2C being almost about 70 to 75% of the portfolio is focused on the B2C segment. Maybe about 20 or 25% is focused on the B2B segment, which is business with business. And last one being B2G is about 5 to 10% of the allocation. So if we believe that those companies have their moat, their inherent capabilities, and their direct reach to the customers, they have the ability to make higher margins. So that is the focus area when we look at company. So world over, I think, or even in other PMSs, the focus is more on sectors, whether it is automobile sector, whether it is banking sector, whether it is chemical sector, pharma sector, so on and so forth. So for us, maybe when we look at chemical sectors, we would call it as a B2B segment. But when we look at, let's say, gold finance companies, we call it as B2C segment because their business is directly with the customers. Whereas in chemicals, the product which a chemical company makes is eventually sold to one company, which makes the end product which gets sold to the final consumer. So that is a B2B category for chemical companies. That's how our allocation is. In terms of the companies, we essentially try to look at leaders in their respective businesses. So even if the sector or the size of the industry is small or less, we would like to look at leaders which are, the number one, number two, or number three in their respective industry. So just to give an example, let's say broking industry per se, within which ICICI Securities is one such company which is the number two player in the industry today. So overall broking industry as a percentage of total market cap which is listed is less. But within that, ICICI Securities has a big market share. So that is to give an example of the kind of businesses we would try to look in terms of the leadership position which are there. So the A part is B2C segment, the B is the market leadership segment. The third category is the market cap segmentation. So in market cap, we would try to look at companies which come in the 5 to 25,000 crore market cap range. So if we look at companies which are upwards of 5,000 crores, there will be just about 5 percentile of companies which are there, which means of the 7,000 companies which are listed, only about 300 to 330 companies are there which are upwards of 5,000 crores of market cap. So if we look at the top 100 companies, they would be all about 25,000 crores of market cap, and they are aggressively researched by everybody. So we are trying to look at companies which are between 5 to 25,000 crores and try to look at what is happening there, what is the kind of change which is happening in those companies, and try to look at them and find some triggers which will change the earnings or the valuations of the company and invest into those set of companies. So that's the third part apart from market leadership and the B2C segment. That is more of our investment process, investment thesis. Having stated that, we have our in-house valuation model at which we believe that the price at which the stock trades, when our comfort zone of valuation comes into it, that is when we try to look at investing into that. So it's not that we jump and invest anything in the market just tomorrow. We would like to wait for our prices to come at those businesses, and then essentially we go about investing. So we don't invest everything from day one. We wait out, and then when the price comes, that's when we try to invest the PMS money which we have. So those are the simple terms of explaining our investment thesis and process and how we go about investing and the stock selection within which we play around. So that's a bigger picture. I think the details about all these points we have already discussed in the earlier episode. So that's how we go about investing, Rishi.
So I can say that your PMS category would come into mid cap segment, correct?
Rishi, yeah, just to clarify that as well. So it's not strictly into that pocket. We also have a Reliance Industries in our portfolio and HDFC Bank as well. We also have a TCS in the portfolio. So it's not that purely it is a mid cap portfolio. But the reasons to get into maybe a Reliance was essentially when we saw that the debt of the company is getting restructured and the company is migrating from a B2B to B2C category. That is essentially moving from oil and gas and moving into telecom space and the retail space. That's when we thought the triggers for the companies are cowed out. And so it makes sense to look at even a large cap stock to invest into. And in HDFC Bank, when it was available at a valuation comfort zone, we got into that as well. So I'm saying that the entire investment universe is open for us and we invest in even large cap ideas, but we try to see the triggers which are there in terms of the company's functioning. And that's when we buy even the large cap ideas into the PMS.
So I can say that this is a multi cap PMS.
Yeah, that's a great reference point which can be taken that it's a multi-cap portfolio.